So back in 2013, Rocksteady Studios released the third entry of their Arkham franchise, Arkham Origins, and if it was as simple as that, the world might be a better place today. Arkham Origins was actually developed by WB Games Montreal, and since then, Rocksteady has done everything they can to make you forget about this game. Now, I'm not saying that this game isn't canon to the Arkham series because it is referenced multiple times in Arkham Knight, so it definitely is canon, but over the years, it's almost became the black sheep of the franchise with how much Rocksteady seems to avoid it. So in 2016, we got the Return to Arkham series, which brought back all the games except for Arkham Origins, of course. And then just recently last year, the Nintendo Switch brought all the Arkham games to its console, and it didn't have Arkham Origins again. So I'm starting to wonder, what is Rocksteady's deal with Arkham Origins? Why are they so against including it in their franchise? And I figured the only way to find that out would be to call them up myself.
Hello, Mr. Rocksteady Studios. Who is this? Never mind that, you have to listen to me. I don't want it. There's a gun to my head. Gun to your head? If you don't remaster Arkham Origins, they're gonna kill me. Remaster Arkham Origins? You think this is some joke? Wait, no! I regret nothing.
Foolishness aside though, I really don't understand why Rocksteady doesn't want to bring Arkham Origins back in some form, especially considering all the different ways you could go about doing it. If they wanted to keep it simple, they could just do what they did with Red Dead Redemption on the PlayStation recently, just give it a graphics upgrade and an FPS boost, and everything will be okay. If they really wanted to get crazy though, and I can promise you this isn't going to happen because Rocksteady just fucking hates money nowadays, but they could do what Resident Evil did with their remakes and just build the game entirely from the ground up for new consoles. I feel like that's probably a lot to ask out of Rocksteady though, so maybe they should just go with the first idea, but I still think it would be kinda cool. I do have a few things I want to talk about regarding why I think this game deserves a remaster of some sort, so let's go ahead and get into that. I think the main reason I want this game to be remastered in some way is mostly because it's not easy to acquire on console. As far as PlayStation goes, you can only play it right now through a streaming service, and if you don't have the greatest Wi-Fi, you're not going to be able to play it at all. And I can't fully confirm its playability on Xbox because I don't own an Xbox, but I'm pretty sure the only way you can play it is if you have an original 360 disc, and I don't know too many people that have that just lying around nowadays. So your last option from there would be the Steam port, and it's pretty fucking awful to this day. I mean, I can show you the numerous clips I have of me fighting a gang of enemies, and anytime I do a takedown or something, they just fly 100 feet in the air.
What the fuck is going on?
I didn't do fucking shit. I didn't rig shit. I didn't fucking do this. I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about any of this.
I could also show you this clip of me trying to fight this police officer for like 30 seconds straight. I mean, I'm trying my damnedest to hit him, but I just can't. Like, just hit him! Let's start talking about some of the positive reasons this game should be remastered though. It's been talked to death, but this game genuinely has some of the best boss fights and gang battles we've seen in the entire series. I'm not going to go too into depth on all of them, so let's just go ahead and skim through some of my favorite boss fights. Killer Croc's fight is relatively simple, but it is a tutorial battle, and when you compare it to the other tutorial battles throughout the series, I feel like this one's easily the best. Deathstroke's battle is definitely one of the best in the entire series. For me, the freeze mission is my favorite from Arkham City. This one definitely comes in as a close number 2 though, and it's really not that difficult once you learn the timing of the counter, and I always try to hear people say that it's just a rehash of the Ra's al Ghul boss fight, but other than the sword spamming, I really don't see the comparison. And when you compare this fight to the one we get in Arkham Knight with Deathstroke, this one just blows it out of the water. From a cinematic standpoint, I think Firefly might actually have the best boss fight in the entire series. I mean, him just dragging you throughout the city and through the air while you grapple hook onto him, it's pretty fucking sick. And from a gameplay standpoint, it's not just a generic gang fight with Firefly thrown in the middle of it. You actually have to utilize your gadgets to be able to take him down. And once again, when you compare this fight to the Firefly boss fight we get in Arkham Knight, this one just blows me from under the water. Deadshot's boss fight is basically an upgraded and more advanced version of Two-Face's boss fight from Arkham City, which I already enjoyed as is, so I'll definitely take the upgrade, but when you compare it to Deadshot's boss fight from Arkham City, this one just sucks my dick underneath the water. I really don't think there's a bad boss fight in this game. I mean, there's a couple generic ones like Anarchy and Shiva, which I do still enjoy for the most part. I really like Copperhead's boss fight. I like both of Bane's boss fights. It's been talked to death, but for good reason, because this game does genuinely have probably the best boss fights in the entire series. It gets a little difficult to rank the Arkham series once you start talking about the story aspects of each game alone, but I do feel like this game holds up just as well as any of the others. It's really a pick your poison type of thing when you're choosing your favorite Arkham game, because to be honest with you, my list flip-flops every time I replay the series. They're all just that good. Another main reason I think it's the perfect time to remaster Arkham Origins is because WB Games Studios, and Rocksteady in specific, they haven't had the hottest run in the last year or so. So in 2022, WB Games Montreal, the same makers of Arkham Origins, they came out with their game Gotham Knights, which has no connection to the Arkham series, and I can't believe 2 years later I still have to specify that to people in the comments. Gotham Knights came out with very mixed reviews at the time, and still to this day you can find people either loving or hating the game. Me personally, I had a lot of fun with the game, especially playing with a friend throughout the whole story. I've beat the story twice now, I'll probably go back for it a third time someday. I don't think Gotham Knights was as bad as people make it out to be. I just think a lot of people thought the connection to the Arkhamverse and wanting another Arkham game in general maybe killed the hype for it a little bit. But then in January of 2024, Rocksteady released their own game, which was a sequel to the Arkham series, the long-awaited sequel we've been wanting. And it sucked. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League was released with very negative reviews. If you ask me personally, I think that the gameplay and traversals of each character are actually pretty good and well thought out. The mission types are insanely repetitive and kill the flow of the game, but hey, at least the first half of the story is pretty good, right? Well, no, because as far as the second half of the story goes, it's as if the developers just ran to the top of the Keener der Toten staircase and just dolphin dived all the way to the bottom. So that means that the last 2 games released by WB Studios, one of them specifically being a Rocksteady Arkham sequel, just flopped insanely hard. But hey, that's okay, because Rocksteady has a new Arkham game coming out this year, and it's even set within the continuity of the Arkhamverse, and it actually looks like it's going to be pretty good. You want to know the problem? The problem is that it's a fucking VR game exclusive to the Oculus 3. I mean, I don't care how good this game looks, I'm not gonna go buy a whole Oculus headset when I could get my VR fix with the PSVR 2 I already have. I don't care how good this game looks. Unless they send me an Oculus 3 for free, I'm not gonna be playing this, and that breaks my heart. So I'm really questioning how much money is Batman Arkham Shadow really gonna make? Are people gonna go out of their way to buy an Oculus 3 just for this game? I don't know, man. I mean, I guess we'll have to wait and see. I feel very confident when I say that if they were to just remaster or remake Arkham Origins in some way, it would make Rocksteady more money than they've made in the past 2 or 3 years from probably all their games combined. That may seem like a steep statement, but I really don't think it is. You have a whole plethora of people that don't even know this game exists to this day. There's still people that will see Arkham Origins and be like, oh, there's a 4th Arkham game? Yes, there's a 4th fucking Arkham game! Rocksteady just doesn't want you to know it! Now that I've got that out of my system, I want to know what you guys think down below. Do you think it would be worth Rocksteady's time to come back and remaster this game, or would it just be another waste of money? In my eyes, I don't see how they couldn't come back to this game at some point in the future. Let me know what you guys think down below though, leave a like if you can, and keep it poppin', pussies.